Yeah, I'll just move off them.
Wait, what?
People of color can't be racist towards white people. You agree. You agree. Why is that?
They can't. I said they could.
Oh, you know what? That's only Anne here. You said people of color.
It's Anna Fumi, by the way.
Okay, Anna.
People of color can't be racist. They can be prejudiced or have They can be bigots, but I don't think that they can be racist against.
So, like, you couldn't be racist towards me.
No, racism.
As a black woman.
Racism is about oppression and the direction.
Could you be
of
racist
it.
towards her, that girl next to you, Jade?
No, I couldn't.
She's
be
Welsh.
Racist to her. No.
What if you didn't like Welsh people or something?
Isn't that xenophobic?
Yeah, I think.
I don't know. She's white.
The
Whatever.
race, it would be the white
yeah.
race.
Xenophobic is
No,
country
no.
racist.
Yeah, so
Wait,
if
so-
you're from
Yeah,
Wales and you're
if
like,
I'm-
oh,
yeah,
So
I don't like
can
the people
she
from Wales.
be racist towards me because she's Latina?
No.
And then she
No one can
Filipino?
be racist.
Thai.
My bad. She's Thai.
They can be
Can
prejudiced
Thai
against
be
you.
can Thai be racist?
I'm the most racist person I know, so
Oh shit. Okay.
Funny how it goes.
I do hear Asians. I do hear a lot that Asians do be racist.
They're racist against other Asians.
Yeah.
Latinos too,
great.
though.
Tatinos too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Africans do.
do the Cubans get a lot
Yeah.
of heat or
We do, because I feel like we have a lot
'Cause
of
of the
people that are
communism.
like white and also black, so we're kind of colors. Like I feel like
Yeah.
Yeah.
we call people, like I have an aunt, we call her like la negra, like that's literally the N word.
Oh, yeah, don't say that. But
No, like it's Spanish, it means
yes,
black.
yeah,
like,
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
even
that's
Mexicans
black
are
and
racist
Spanish.
against other Mexicans.
Yeah.
Like there's the white Mexicans.
Gringos, yeah. That's what they call y'all.
Anyways, wait, so hold on. But why can't a black person be racist towards a white people? White person.
Just because racism is about oppression, and so it doesn't work that way. I'm
What's
sorry.
your definition of racism?
It just doesn't work that way. So my definition of racism is when people who have, when the majority of the people who are in control, and sorry, I am so sleepy. I'm going to wake up. Okay, but yes, so racism basically only goes in one direction. So that's how it works. You can be prejudiced or, bigoted against somebody, a white person, but your racism is just, it's different than that. It's not the same.
is the
Sorry.
definition
of
racism?
I'm so sorry.
To Jade's
I just want to
question.
know, educate me. What's the definition of racism?
Yeah, what's the
Racism
definition?
is when a person of color is treated differently or
That's not
profiled
the
or
definition
mistreated.
of racism at all.
This is my definition, so you asked me what it
Oh,
was.
so
Do
you made
want
the
me to
dictionary.
finish? Did you make the dictionary? How about I finish first and then you can talk to me?
Okay, give me the actual
Don't start with me.
definition.
I won't start back. I promise. So this is
What's
my
the
definition.
definition?
She wants
So
to say
if
it.
you treat someone differently because of the color of their skin, you are being racist towards them. It doesn't matter what color your skin is or theirs.
Yeah.
If it's different and you're treating them differently, that's racist and that's fucked up.
Good for you.
I think it's offensive when people say black people can't be racist towards white people, because when you're saying that black people cannot be racist, you're equivalating racism to power, and you're saying black people cannot have power. And we have come a long way to gain power and gain our education and gain our rights to say that we do not have power. It's a contradiction and it's disrespectful towards the black race.
Interesting perspectives, y'all.
It's the definition, though.
No, you want me to keep talking? Yeah, so I disagree, and that's just my opinion. I deal with a lot of people who discuss these things all the
So
time.
you're admitting
I
that
find
black
it to be
people don't
boring.
have power?
I'm not admitting to anything like that.
Because that's what that sounds like to me.
I think you just went in a circle and
Okay.
chased your tail around when you answered that question.
then-
But that's you, and we all have different opinions on what's racism and what happens with
no,
others.
there's
So if
facts
If you
and
had
there's
an
opinions.
experience where you felt people were being racist towards you, that's your feelings. Other people might disagree. Like if you felt like I was being racist towards you, other people might be like, no, that's not true, right? So it's based on opinion. And race is just a social construct anyway. So what are we supposed to do with it?
Damn, a motherfucker getting lynched, and that was his opinion, right? That don't sound like an opinion to me. That
Who
sounds
got-
like
who-
facts,
who
and
got
that sounds
lynched
like
just now?
that sounds like somebody that didn't have power and they lost it, all because of the color of their skin.
Yeah, that's racism. That's
Have you been
slavery.
like racist towards a white person?
No.
I have an opinion
Like,
on
what
a
would-
dictionary definition.
Yeah, what would be,
Have you been
what's an
racist towards a white
example of
person?
Yes.
racism against a white person? Like, what would have to be said for it to be racist against a
She
white
didn't
person?
even want to sit next to me. No, I'm just
Well, that's because her name's Karen, but. What was your question, Anne?
Oh, it's Anna. Anna Fumi. And so my question was simply, what would be what's a good example of someone being racist towards a white person, a person of color being racist towards a white person? Like, what would define that?
Treating
there
a
was
white person differently
there was a
because of the
school
color of
in-
their skin.
There was a
simple.
school, I think, in Northern
Treating them
California where they
differently? How would
had
you know if somebody's treating you differently?
they
Well,
had
you do a
a
case study.
there was a
You do
school
case
in
studies
Northern
on it?
California that had a meet and greet for all the new kids coming to school, and it specifically said it is for brown, black, and indigenous kids.
Oh, okay.
So the white kids were not allowed to attend this meet and greet. Then it was a picnic that the
That's
school was
segregation.
having for the families. To me, that's racist. Why can't all the kids go and play? Why can't all the kids go and meet and greet? Their whole purpose was that they wanted just all the brown kids to meet each other.
Now,
Was it
see, I don't think
I don't
that's
think
racist.
they should be able to do that,
That's
but-
To
not
have
racist.
a party, a school having a party and
No.
not letting the white kids go?
What that was probably inclusion, because what happens to black and brown people is
But
we're
you're
often
excluding
Yeah, the
excluded.
white ones.
You're
So it's
excluding the white
segregation.
ones.
Correct, but that's not it. What was the situation?
When have white
It
people
was
ever been segregated before,
it was a
Jewish
school
people,
and it
Irish
was
people?
like
The
it was
Ottoman
a
Empire.
private school.
Okay.
They couldn't do
Yes,
this in
let's go with
public
that.
schools. But they were just having, it was at the beginning of the
Genghis
school
Khan.
year, and it was literally a meet and greet. Come and meet all your new classmates.
Okay, that doesn't sound like racism though. That just sounds like exclusion.
Yeah.
That's not
So when
racism.
there was like
That's
a black
exclusion.
water
Why was the
fountain and a
exclusion?
white water fountain back in the day.
The
that
white
was
people
not
not being able to
racism.
attend.
That wasn't
'Cause of their
racism.
skin
That was
color.
exclusion.
What'd you say? It's two people talking at the same time.
I was just saying, like back in the day when there was like segregation and there was like literally a black water fountain, white water fountain. That's not racism. That's exclusion.
That
Just
was
because they weren't.
that was
including-
discrimination. That's literally what it was. Why
But
are we
then
trying
why
to
wouldn't
change?
it be-
Why are we trying to change the
Why
facts
wouldn't
of
it not-
history?
Why would not inviting a certain race to do something that all the other kids were doing not be racist, like not be racism
And
versus
that's
exclusion?
That's when you got to be able to differentiate and learn your definitions. That's not racism. That just sounds like brown
So-
people excluding
Right.
white people,
Let's
which is
change-
also unfair.
Yes.
But that's
Like,
not
Okay,
racist.
but let's
University.
just,
That's
for,
not
just
racist.
for the sake
And you
of
can't just be
argument.
throwing the word racist around just because white people not included.
But just-
bro,
okay.
white people, y'all literally are everywhere.
But let's-
so let's not
but
let's not act like y'all are
Actually,
having
on
racism
Earth.
towards y'all all the
Let's
time.
just for the sake of argument,
it's possible,
switch the
but it's not
races.
common.
What
There
if
will
it's
always
white?
be a
What
white
if it's
person.
white kids having a meet and greet,
Yeah,
and we're not
yeah,
letting the black
exactly.
kids come? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's exclusion.
That's not racism.
That's exclusion.
See,
Is
I
it
see that.
racism?
as
Because
racism.
is it are you not inviting the black kids because they're black, or are you not inviting the black kids just because they're not invited?
they're not inviting
because
the
you
white
can
kids 'cause
separate
they're white.
you can separate the actuality and the race. You know, those two don't have to be together.
What is the exclusion, though? It's the skin color. And that goes back to the definition of racism.
Yeah.
All right.
I
y'all.
also think culturally, like maybe white people have different interpretations of a definition, like just as a culture versus other.
Right. No, let me ask you something. Though. When have you experienced racism?
when I went to Puerto Rico to watch my
I'm sorry, it's not
boyfriend play baseball,
What'd they
and
say?
I couldn't get anybody to wait on me in the mall because I was the white girl at the mall.
Oh,
and
wow.
nobody would wait
So
on me.
nobody waited on you, and that was racism. You see how we just easily throwing that word around? That is not possible. You may have been left behind, you may have been excluded, but that's not racism just because the little white girl was left out. That's not racism.
Well, no, my
I don't
husband
think-
absolutely. He's Puerto
I don't think you
Rican,
should
and he
be
said
throwing
they
that
don't like
word
white
around
girls.
loosely.
They might not have been able to speak your language, and that's why they.
They all
Correct.
speak
You know,
English. It's
Puerto
the
Ricans
mall
are
in
Spanish
frickin-
speakers.
It's in San Juan. It's the biggest mall they have. And at that time, I could kind of speak Spanish.
¿Tú
so
hablas
it wasn't-
español?
Pardon me?
¿Tú hablas
They
español?
don't speak
Un
Spanish.
poquito.
Oh, so ¿de dónde eres tú?
Don't they speak Portuguese there?
No, in Puerto Rico, they speak
Okay,
Spanish.
so you went to a Spanish-speaking country and think it's racism just because you didn't speak Spanish.
No,
That's what that sounds like
that's
to
not
me.
what I said.
That's what that sounds like to me.
That's not what I said. I said they spoke English at the mall. I also could speak a little bit of Spanish, but the people waiting on me were all English speakers. It was at Macy's. in
So they
San
left you
Juan.
because you were white?
Yes, because they don't like white girls there, particularly Puerto Ricans.
That's what your husband
women
said.
don't.
So what
Yes,
were the,
and he's Puerto Rican. He's like, well, they didn't want to wait on you because you're
That's
white.
like my black
it
friend said
happens.
this,
I
so
know.
it's-
I know people don't want to believe that, but
Well, what were the repercussions of this situation? How, like, were you stoned in the town, like, hall? Were you, did they whip you? Or, like, what was the painful part? Was it just that nobody talked to you?
well, the
Right.
painful
I don't think we
part
can
is
call
They
that
left the little white girl at the mall, and that's racism.
Well, so what's the
I don't think you
metric
can
of
call
like
it-
Okay.
whenever it goes from discrimination to like
Yeah.
even for
Oh,
black
yeah,
people?
And
like,
there's a
good point.
difference
Where's, like, the
between
threshold?
discrimination and racism.
But, like, let's
Y'all
say-
know that, right?
There's
And prejudice.
definitely-
So
That's
I'm-
all three of those are different.
I'm just
Agreed.
curious.
Go
Like,
ahead.
let's say it's against a black person. What is your threshold of this is just discrimination, and then this is where it enters racism?
So
Like,
Profiling.
would
Profiling in stores,
Correct.
profiling by police, profiling by school officials, profiling in different areas. And it's not just black people, also, a lot of people of color go through this, where they're
Correct.
being profiled
But so if
simply.
you went to the
I mean,
mall-
look at ICE.
And-
Where have you seen them going after people, and how are they determining what visual would they be able to use to determine who might not be from here? What visual?
It's not
So
a
that's-
visual. They
that's
actually
profiling.
have
Now
people that they are actually targeting. You
Okay.
should look at Bill Malugin from Fox News. He
You
goes.
don't even live here. I don't know what you're
I
talking about.
actually do live here.
I see ICE
thought you were from
I see
Wales.
ICE all the
I am
time at
from
work.
Wales.
I
I'm an
talk to
immigrant,
ICE
and I
all the
live
time.
in
But
Wales.
you're not
They wait
black,
at the
so you
jail.
don't face the same
Yeah.
hardships
Xenophobic?
that we do. So you cannot
that's
speak and say white people
didn't say I did.
experience
No, I'm teasing her
racism.
about
But
being
you
there.
said
It's a
that
great
white
place to
kids
live.
being
Like, it's
excluded from a
beautiful.
brown
Where?
party was racism. That just
where you
sounds
came
like
from?
discrimination to me or exclusion.
So-
It doesn't sound like racism.
So
Y'all
if
throwing that
you-
word around too loosely.
Yeah.
So if
Way
you
too
went to
loosely.
Macy's in Puerto Rico and let's say the tables were turned and you didn't get, like, no one came up to you, no one helped you, you were upset, like they were just ignoring you and you were adamant about it and you were upset that no one came up to you.
And it's not even
And
that
That
you
has
didn't
actually
want to
happened to
I
me
know,
in Puerto Rico.
So did you
so
think it was racist of them?
I think that it
No.
was discrimination because
Or
I
they're
was one of
busy,
the
who
darkest
knows?
ones in the restaurant, of course. But have you ever went through that?
Yeah, of course.
Where?
I've had stuff like happen to me. I mean,
Let me
so-
hear it.
Okay, well, I mean, it's not like I don't think that I think I've been discriminated against because I am white in certain situations.
I ain't
Because
never
everyone
heard that
has
shit before.
stereotypes. There's stereotypes for a reason because there's people who are inside of the box. Same
Yeah.
thing with us, or some of the girls here. If we have an OnlyFans, you get put into that box just because there's that box of like because of the stereotypes of OnlyFans girls doesn't mean that you fit that exact mold, but it does mean that a lot of the girls in that industry fit that mold.
I mean, in my opinion, there are some truths to stereotypes.
Sure.
But
So does
you
that make
still
someone
didn't. You
racist?
still didn't answer my question though. When have you ever been discriminated against for being a white girl, or when has anybody ever been racist to you for being a white girl?
Last weekend, driving to Atlanta, and I got pulled over by a Mexican cop. And
Did he tell you he was Mexican, or you assuming he Mexican? Because you know there are hundreds of Latino
well,
countries.
okay, he was Latina. Sorry, that was I just
Wow, that's racist. That is so fucking racist. You just assumed that a Latino was Mexican.
I didn't,
And not
sorry.
Salvadorian,
Yeah, he could have been something
not
else.
Cuban,
I don't know.
not nothing.
I agree. I kind of do just like, I'm from California, so most of the Latinos I grew up with were from Mexico. So sorry,
How do you
that's on me.
know?
Well, yeah, how
That's
is-
on
How
me.
do you
How is that
know
racist?
that?
It's like no one asked
you
me like,
assume
okay,
that?
are you German or are you Scots-Irish?
Yeah.
Like we just say white. Like
That's
why is that?
nationality, though. That's what makes the difference
Yeah,
between
nationality
race and
and race are two
nationality.
different things.
You're white, German.
Ethnicity.
That's
Ethnicity, yeah.
ethnicity and
It's two different
Yeah, but
nationality
that's
is
the
two
same
different
thing
things.
that
Right,
she was
I-
just saying this guy's an American, I'm assuming, if he's pulling you over in
Yeah,
the United
it's a state
States.
trooper.
So
that's
how
his
is it-
nationality.
Right.
Ethnicity is what she was saying.
Right.
Okay, so how was it racist? Explain.
Well,
He
okay.
pulled you over. What were you doing to get pulled over?
So I was moving with the speed of traffic, but he was just out there to.
So you got pulled
tickets.
over for speeding. You know you could say that, right?
Yeah, I got pulled over for speeding.
So you got pulled over for speeding by a Latino cop, and that's racist?
No.
That's discriminatory?
I was literally not doing anything.
Make it make sense.
Some people
Okay.
get shot by police, children even, just for looking like they're guilty. So I mean, I don't
Right.
think that the
Children get
racism
shot by
that you
children
that you
get shot by
experience-
police for looking like they're guilty. Where did that happen?
who was the little
That's
boy?
happened a
Who
lot.
was the little boy?
Just
Got shot
for look-
having the
who
phone.
he had a play toy and
and
was
yeah.
shot at 11 years old, killed.
Okay, wait,
I forgot your cop.
Time out. Play toy and he got killed. How? Was it a
He was
play
shot
gun?
down by officer.
Was
It
he
was a
holding
water-
something in his
It was
hand?
a water gun. We can look this up.
okay,
We can
so
look
it
this
was a
up
water
and fact
gun.
check.
I have a
Okay.
question.
But no, we're not about to run from this because you said
I know,
that you
I'm
have
not
been.
done yet.
Let me hear it.
Okay, so I am a Trump supporter. I was wearing my MAGA hat, and he pulls me over, and I was going with the speed of traffic. I was not even in the fast lane. Like, I literally wasn't speeding. And I have a fast car, and I do speed at the right time when it's, like, safe. But in that moment, I literally was, like, I think I was going, like, 4 over or something. He was just writing tickets.
Wait, so you think it's because of the MAGA hat?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's not your skin color. We're talking about racism.
I know, but
Please tell me.
considering the situation, it was just like, I was like, this is not, I don't know. I was just,
I mean, we can talk about the massacre in South Africa right now. That's
right. I'm not, you asked me to give you an example.
for sure.
And
Yeah.
I felt like I really truly wasn't doing like anything wrong, considering I was like with every other car around me.
It
and
just
not
sounds.
speeding.
It just sounds like you're avoiding accountability. You got pulled over for speeding,
No.
and you want to blame a cop for being Mexican. He probably wasn't even Mexican. I hope that cop watching. I hope you drop your nationality in this fucking comments now.
Drop it.
But
I hope he's Mexican. Let's go. And I
you
can be
better
like,
hope
I
he
was
Mexican.
right.
You was
I
right about him
right.
being Mexican, but you wasn't right about him being
He's like,
racist
actually, I'm
towards you."
Chinese.
Yeah, right.
My name is
wasn't
Officer
right.
Wong.
Well, there's other indicators, but whatever. I mean, I get it. I agree with you. I don't think that. I think there's different levels of racism. Did I have any? Did I get hurt physically? No. Like, did things happen in that situation that made me feel uncomfortable, and that like probably like I didn't even have like a say because it was just like he judged me by the way I looked like immediately when he walked up to the window. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's not like I was whipped like we were saying earlier. There's no repercussions of it, and there's different levels of racism, but at the end of the day I
Ain't
felt
no level-
like I was judged because of the color of my skin and what I was wearing versus like what like he was like pretty rude, and it was just it just gave me bad vibes. Bad vibes.
Ain't no level to racism. Is you either racist or you're not. And bad vibes
Well, then,
is
like,
just
it goes
because
back
somebody
to-
got
it
bad
goes back to,
vibes, that don't make sense.
The exclusion thing we were
what they
talking
do.
about earlier with racism, it's like, how do you say what, like, when there's like black water fountains and white water fountains, and that is and you were saying that white kids weren't invited to this party. That's
Who's
exclusion,
more of a
but then
victim?
back then, so you can't agree with both.
See, that's the thing though.
It's like
Black
it's black-
people, I don't have a victim mentality to that kind.
Right, yeah.
What'd you say?
Don't respond to the $10.
Okay. Well, anyway, this is a conversation that is.
Great.
Brian
No,
disappeared.
it's not great.
Yeah, it's such a big conversation and so heavy. And we've
Yeah.
been talking about a lot of different subjects, but this one, I mean, everybody's got their different opinions. You might feel like you're persecuted for different reasons, and how can we really like prove it to one another? Because if somebody tells me, "Oh, this happened," and I'm like, "Wow, I've had 10 times worse," we can't all like. So maybe y'all think it's possible for me to be racist against you. I just don't know how I could possibly be. I could be like, you smell like pennies when you go outside, or
I think it's
y'all don't know how to
possible.
dance.
So
or-
when you-
I don't know,
you-
like what could, it's just roasting at that
When
point,
you when you've been at like a store and someone's not talked to you or said something, like, did you bring it up to the store or anything?
No. That has never happened to me before.
Okay.
But what has happened to me before was I have gotten escorted out of a building for the sake of me just being black, for the sake of somebody thinking that I was just up to no good.
Then you should
So
sue that building.
until you feel what that feels, you cannot put yourself in my shoes.
Contingency.
Right.
What'd you say?
Get a lawyer that works on contingency and sue the building for being racist against you.
Okay. And what else? Since you got everything
Basically,
figured out.
the lawyers will work for free for you, and then when they arrive at a settlement, they'll take like 33%.
Yeah,
But it
yeah, yeah.
doesn't
It's
it
not.
doesn't
That's not
dismiss the
taught.
fact
Yeah,
that it took place.
exactly.
Of
That's
course.
exactly what I'm saying. So you trying to go around it and talk it in circles
so
or
then-
avoid what I'm talking about?
then-
That's just disregarding everything that
when
I'm
she
saying,
was-
which is kind of racist of you.
When Karen was saying that she felt that way, so that wasn't racism there? You don't
No,
agree?
a white girl got left at a mall in Puerto Rico.
Nobody talks
Like
about
what?
It's
What
not
the
that I
hell?
got left at a mall. I was trying to buy something.
Now poor Karen has been left at the mall.
Po baby Karen.
I kept
Po baby
trying to-
Karen.
I'd go up-
being
I'd
a
go-
typical Karen.
I'd go-
And of course, did you
I'd
call
go
the
up-
manager?
I'd go up to the register and she'd look at me and walk away. Then I'd go up to another register and she'd look at a different girl would look at me and walk away. A
all
right,
third
what did I miss?
register.
What did I
your
miss?
break?
Possible
So,
that they
I
just
mean,
don't
so
like
apparently-
tourists.
Or maybe
I'm
they
not
didn't
a
speak.
nasty
Or
person.
maybe they didn't speak
Hey,
English.
guys, one at a time.
No, they
One at a
spoke
time.
English.
Oh my
They
goodness.
spoke English.
Yeah, that's a good question. May
What's
I
up?
also do that?
Wait, what?
Felicity, Fidel Castro's daughter would like a lollipop.
Could I have one too?
Can I have
please?
one too?
We can only do
I'm
one at a
sorry.
time
Okay, I'll
because
do my
He said
then there's like
two.
too many.
My
there's-
sugar
Okay,
level-
I'm
my-
going
like,
out
my
on the
blood
balcony.
sugar is
Sucking
low.
going
She's
on.
like,
Wait,
bye.
so
She's like, bye.
can you give us, just so we can move it on, just give us a definition of racism?
I already tried. I'm so sleepy. Okay, my definition of racism is when somebody is abused based on the color of their skin, and the direction always goes from the oppressor to the oppressed. So it's always in one direction. And that's my definition. I don't want to think
So are
anymore.
all
Can
white?
do I have to think?
Hold on. Yeah, you do have to think. I know
want
it's
to.
difficult.
I've been thinking all day.
So, in your view, is white men or white people are the oppressor, and black or people of color are the oppressed?
In a society that there is privilege to being a person, a white person, I do feel like people of color do experience a lot of oppression. And, people
Can
will
I ask
argue
you a
the
question?
white privilege. What does it mean? It's the privilege of not being shot by the police or attacked by the police whenever
Police
you
shoot
go
more
anywhere.
white people than they do black
That's
people.
because there's more white people than there are black people.
No, everybody gets shot by the
Per
police.
capita?
Not, yeah.
Everybody gets shot by the
Well, hold on.
police.
But would this then be evidence of sexism because the rates of police killing men compared to police killing women, it's way higher, like the differential between blacks being killed by police versus whites being killed by police? So is this your argument? So hold on.
Depends on if the
hold on.
officer was a man or a woman.
Hold
I
on,
guess.
hold on. Is this your argument? So basically, you're saying, okay, well, you're saying there's discrepancy when it comes to police misconduct, police brutality, and police shootings.
my bad.
And blacks are more, or black men are more likely to be the victims of this.
Yeah.
Or black people are more likely to be victims of, but it's really black men, more likely to be the victims of this. But if I could show you statistics that differential is, the gap is way wider that exists between men and women. So there's more men, for example, there's more white men that are killed by police than there are women who are killed by police of all races combined.
Those statistics are true. It's only just more televised when it's a black person, because that's what the country wants to do to black people, is send us in an angry uproar and then have us looking crazy and have us acting wild based off, trying to get justice off this one person getting killed, in an unequal way by the police.
Yeah, there's also the prison industrial complex, which means that we have private prisons that get paid by our government to house people in them. So yes,
But what does
they're
that have to
going
do with racism?
What does it have to do with racism and police brutality? I think that police seek out people of color. They profile them. Yes or no? Would anybody disagree? Would you disagree?
No.
You don't think?
I mean,
that? Well, you're a
you
cop.
know what? I'm willing to grant that.
No.
But you said that those ladies profiled you at the store when they didn't talk to you. So
Yeah,
how,
but
how does
Right.
it work for you?
So
but not
how
the
it
other
work for
way?
you and not nobody else?
Amazing.
Well, I'm sure there are some, but for the most part, cops are not racially profiling. They actually have a list. They know who in their patrol beat are the deadbeats. They know the people that are the drug users. They know people that are the gangbangers. They know people that commit all the crimes, and they keep rearresting the same people over and over and over again. That's not uncommon. It's not uncommon.
Okay.
Yes, go on.
So basically, you can only be racist towards minority groups, and it can only be whites who do it.
I think so. I
Can
think it's
Asians be
prejudice
racist
and
towards black people?
Oh yeah, we're. If y'all want to know a real little secret, all of us people of color are racist to each other. We roast each other all the time. We'll say all kinds of wild stuff to each other and about each other.
Who has more systemic power in this country, Asians or black people?
Oh, I don't think that's even I don't think it works like that. That's not when I say we are racist towards each other, we'll just roast each other and be like, say little things
So
back
it
and forth.
requires power to be racist.
Yeah.
Wait, question for you.
Power and some persecution, power and persecution.
And persecution.
So if somebody
a new one.
abuses you and then you actually some harm comes to you.
There's harm, okay.
Yeah, then that is the power and the persecution. Yeah.
Okay, so then let's assume there's a black CEO and he refuses to hire a white janitor because that janitor is white, and this janitor comes from a lower socioeconomic status than the multi-millionaire, billionaire black CEO. Is that black CEO a racist?
No, but he is
How would he-
prejudiced, and I mean it's bigotry. He's denying somebody the ability to work there. But I mean, so do you think that
Wait,
it's
hold on.
racist for black universities to exist? I mean, you didn't get invited to a kids' party, so maybe y'all think that black universities shouldn't exist either, that y'all should be allowed to go to them. I mean, weren't
just
white
saying
people,
segregation.
I mean,
weren't white
our,
people the ones who were like, my grandma was a Native American. None of y'all's grandmas were Native Americans. Like, please stop
None
lying.
of us have.
Yeah,
But
but
in
how about you
order
answer?
to get
You got to
the-
answer my question
Yeah,
before I
okay.
answer your question.
Okay, what was the question? I forgot.
Okay, so you have the black CEO, and let's say he's
yeah.
like, this is a multi-state, it's a multi-state company. It's a multinational company. Tens of thousands of employees, and it's a system. This corporation is a system.
Okay.
They've got offices in Vegas and Los Angeles and San Francisco and New York and Miami, and they've got a couple in Europe. And he's the big boss man. He's the owner of the company. He's also the CEO. And he refuses to hire a white janitor. And this white janitor, we happen to know some background on him. He was an orphan.
Oh my
and
gosh,
he's
getting
also
so sad.
he doesn't have a leg.
Well, I mean,
He doesn't have a leg.
If he feels that he has a case, he can take it to court and
no,
he
no,
can
no.
sue him,
Okay,
right?
cool. But would you view that?
That's what he said.
Would you view the black billionaire CEO refusing to hire the white janitor because he's white? Would you view that as racist?
I mean, I don't think that the billionaire CEO or CEO or whatever he is, I don't think he would be doing the hiring of
No,
janitors.
he's
Correct.
not.
It
But
don't sound
he
like it's about
intervenes.
race. It sounds like it's
He-
more about money,
he
and that's when you gotta.
intervened-
This when you
Hold
gotta
on, hold on, let me
exclude
explain it
race.
Hold on. He normally doesn't hire the janitors, but it's for his personal bathroom in the corporate headquarters. And he's like, you know what? Normally I just let
Well, I mean,
this,
I wouldn't hire a poor
Hold on,
motherfucker
hold
to
on.
be in my rich restroom
Yeah,
either.
exactly.
Hell, it's about money. It ain't about race.
Bro, how many rich janitors are there? Okay, so anyways.
Exactly.
Great.
You proving your own point.
Yeah, but janitors have to be hired.
Yeah.
And they're typically not rich.
Okay.
So it's obviously going to come down to not his socioeconomic status, but it's going to come down to his race.
It don't sound like it's about race though. It
Because
just sounds like it's about
I
money.
made it about his race.
But why are we
So,
making it
And he
about
only had
race?
like one leg also, so like how can he do the full job?
Yeah,
that
I'm
was
exaggerating it with a little artistic flair
I
and
saw
pizzazz
that, yeah.
and razzle dazzle.
Razzle
So,
dazzle.
is it racist to refuse to hire the white janitor?
I mean, if you can prove it in a court of law, then you can sue. Sure, go ahead and try.
No, okay, I get that
No.
you're saying that the man can sue. Do you think it's racist?
No, I don't think it's racist at all because we can't discern what his reasoning for that was for not hiring him.
I literally
we can't assume that it
in
was
the
because
example I say
he didn't want
he
a
doesn't
white-
want to hire the white janitor because he's white.
because the color of his skin.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Would that be racist?
no.
Still not racist.
No.
Okay, how about this? Barack Obama, when he was president, let's say he didn't want to hire a white janitor to work for him in the White House because that white janitor is white. Would that be racist?
No.
Into the mic.
No, I don't think so.
How could it? Hold on. I'm literally meeting even your honestly retarded definition of
I
racism.
already told you that my
So
definition
racism is a
literally goes in
retarded
one
definition.
direction. So, like,
okay. So
I'm going to consistently have the same opinion on it.
People who are
The example you given is pretty simple. Yes, that's racist.
okay. So here's
Not
my
for me.
definition of somebody who abuses children. There are people named Anna who wear blue shirts, are child abusers.
Interesting.
Is that enough to make you a child abuser?
That's called profiling.
What?
You're profiling. You're saying people who look like me, who have the same name as me. That's profiling. That's not
it's not
like.
But that
What
doesn't
what is
correlate.
your question here?
That doesn't correlate to you applying the actual definition of racism. Why the hell are
No,
we
because what I'm trying to
comparing
get
the
at,
two?
what I'm trying to get at is she's completely perverting the definition of
How so?
racism.
Well, some
Because you're
people
saying,
might agree
well,
with me.
Under my definition of
y'all already
racism,
know.
only only this racial group can be racist.
But let me ask you a question. Am I the only person who's ever held this belief system or this opinion that y'all have ever met in your life and you're so shocked by this because you've never heard anyone say it? Or have you heard it before? So if there's other people
there's
who
the
also
mind
say
virus.
it.
Yeah.
if
Yeah, I've
there's
heard it
other people
before.
who also say
yes,
it,
and these
then it
people
is
also have the
subjective.
mind virus.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that there was a mind virus.
It's the woke mind
Close your ears.
virus.
He said there's mind viruses in here.
Well, I mean, this idea that racism has been completely detached from the historically understood definition of the word, is a little confusing to me.
Tell me some more
It's just
history.
confusing.
White people are not the majority of
100
the,
years
of the
ago,
planet.
60
It's
years
true.
ago, 50
White
years
people
ago.
are
Yeah,
not
white-
the majority
that is
of the
true.
planet.
White
Why is
people
there
are a
double
minority.
standard?
White
They are
people
the-
are a
they are the
minority.
About the
minority.
U.S. Is
Not
that
in
why you're
America.
talking about-
Double standard.
Not in
Why-
It's not a
America.
double standard. It's
This
just
conversation all over the place. Y'all got to pick a topic and stay
It's
on
not
it
a
because are we
double
talking
standard.
I'm
about
staying on
white
it.
people in
Stay on
America
business.
or are we talking about white people in Africa? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Because y'all got to stick to
Yeah,
it.
The
y'all.
word racism, what is the definition?
You
How about
already
this?
asked
If I went
that.
to Nigeria, could black people be racist towards me in
Yes.
Nigeria?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so it's geographic based.
The reason that it's racism in this country is because of a lot of history. But yeah, they could be prejudiced to you,
do
not
realize,
racist to
we,
you.
you
I'm
do
sorry.
realize
Prejudice,
that
not racist.
we elected
This
a
is
black
so important.
president.
Twice.
We elected a black
That don't mean
president.
shit.
So the question that I was asking you about Barack Obama.
And a black mayor, and a black mayor in Dallas, and a black mayor in New
Seattle.
York, and a black mayor in Chicago.
Do you have like a list? Do you know
There's
all
a
of them?
list.
You're
I
like,
do have a
Okay,
list
so
of all the
let's
black
talk
people.
about the Afro. Let's talk about the Afro Latino countries.
Hold on.
Let's
you gotta
let's
wait,
talk about
you
the
gotta wait.
Afro Latino
No, you gotta
countries
wait.
where there are
You
black
gotta-
speaking
oh my God.
Spanish people
You gotta
and
wait,
white
lady.
speaking
Lady.
Spanish
Brian's
people.
the host.
Lady,
You
yeah,
have
you
to
gotta-
respect his show.
Shut up.
Yeah, thank you. Wait, did you just say shut up to Jay?
Yeah, I told her to shut up.
Hold on. Okay, you got.
we're all
look,
cranky.
this-
Huh?
You gotta leave. Come
We're
on.
all getting
nice.
cranky.
You gotta leave. Get out of here. Come
Aw,
on.
man.
Out
Don't
you
make
go.
her leave. She's so
Out you go. Come on.
entertaining. This has been entertaining this whole
Come
time.
on. Out you go.
It has been.
Out you go.
No.
I'm kicking you off. Come on.
No.
What do you mean no?
What do you mean? Am I going to get escorted out? So now Jade, now all of a sudden it's just this white savior.
No,
She-
look.
That's
I
right.
gave you
I
a lot
told
of
her to
chances.
shut up
I gave
under
you a
my
lot
roof.
of chances, but you're being rude to me. You're being rude to her.
Okay, I shut
You
it
gotta
up.
leave. No, just get up and leave.
I'll get up and leave. Madam Houston, everybody. Y'all want to hear about some real game? Follow me on Instagram everywhere. These people don't know real.
Boo, I want her to stay. Bye, love. Nice to meet you.
Why is the audio not working? What the fuck? That's weird. Damn it.
This is Sparta!
Oh.
Peace out. Peace out. You too, homie. Great to see you. Glad you can make it.
Bye, love.
Why? Why is that not working? Why? That's weird. Huh? Did she leave? Is she out? All right. Hey, All right, maybe we scoot everybody down a little bit. Yeah, let's scoot everybody down.
I like my seat.
All right, then
I'll move.
you stay there, and I'm gonna put Felicity there. No. All right. Felicity, you're going over there. All right, Felicity's running the table. All right, there we go, finally. I waited till the very end, Hey, she had it coming.
Welcome.
She had it coming, she had to go. Anyways, what was he saying?
We were talking about race.
Yeah. Okay, so what I was trying to ask you when she kept talking over me, Barack Obama, when he was president, you would agree that he's the most powerful person in the world when he was president, right?
No, I think billionaires are powerful.
Into the mic.
Oh, sorry. No, I believe that the richest people in the world are the most powerful people, not presidents.
But the richest people in the world
Like,
don't
so
have
you're saying
the
that
nuclear
you're saying the
codes.
leader of the best country
Right.
in the entire world is not the most important.
I think that billionaires line politicians' pockets, yes.
How about this? Let me ask you this. Is the United States the most powerful country in the world?
I mean, I'm sure other countries think they're powerful
Military
too.
might.
I
Military
mean,
might.
military. Oh
alone.
my gosh, we spend what 800 trillion.
We have
on the
we
military.
could. You do realize the United States military could have be in multiple theaters
Yeah.
of war and fucking shit up in
Yeah.
multiple geographic
Oh, yeah, yeah.
regions at once. In terms of our force projection, no other country can
Yeah,
do that.
true. Yeah.
Just our Navy, just our capability is unmatched.
Yeah.
We could be dealing with multiple belligerent nations at one time and fucking their shit up. Easy, son. World War II back-to-back champions.
Hell yeah, brother.
Let's fucking go. Yo, in the chat, USA. Okay, so anyways.
I mean, they're still in
So
Cuba.
United States, the United States is the most powerful country in the world. Barack Obama, he's the leader. He was the leader of the most powerful country in the world.
I wasn't a
Elected
fan.
twice.
Let me ask you a question. Is the executive branch of the United States government a system?
Yes.
Okay. Was Barack Obama the leader of that system?
Yes.
So Barack Obama has systemic power?
Yes.
Okay. So if racism is prejudice plus power, he's being prejudiced by not hiring a white janitor.
Yes, he might.
He's arguably the most powerful man in the world because he is the leader of the executive branch of the United States government, which is the most powerful nation in the world. How would this not even meet your warped definition of racism?
I don't feel like he's oppressing this man. He's not hiring him for his personal bathroom. You have every right when it comes to your personal property to hire who you choose. Who you so choose.
No,
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah, I mean,
No, you
if I
don't.
was going to hire a cleaner for my home or somebody to work on my car,
Oh, okay.
that
So the
is
federal-
my right to choose.
Yeah,
you know?
let me explore this logic. So the federal government, if they wanted to, could not hire black people because they're black.
No, I don't think that's legal here. I don't think you're allowed to do
What
that.
about white people? Can they not hire white people because they're white?
No, I mean, that's...
It would be
I don't
racist,
think
right?
You're allowed to do that. No, I think it's just why are you... What? They wouldn't hire him because they're white? I don't know.
Right, but Barack Obama, it's the executive branch of the federal government.
Yeah.
So-
But still, that's his personal bathroom, so it's his choice, you know? And,
No, I don't. I'm pretty sure that he wouldn't be able to say, I don't want... It might be...
I mean, if he said it out loud, yeah, people would be like, what are you doing? You can't say that. And he would get in trouble for it. But
Right, but would it be
most of the
racist?
time
Why-
when
why
Would it be
wouldn't he say
racist?
it?
But
They
would it be
don't say
racist?
anything.
But would it be racist?
Would it be racist? No.
I don't know how
this
else.
is my opinion, and it doesn't change.
I'm literally
sorry.
meeting your definition of racism. Prejudice plus power. Barack Obama had a lot of power. In this example, I'm saying that he is being prejudiced. So it meets your definition. Why would it not be
Prejudice,
racist?
it's prejudice, yeah.
But it's
Right,
not racist.
but it's
bigotry.
prejudice plus power. He has power.
This is my opinion.
He has systemic power.
It doesn't change.
He has power. He has systemic power.
Yeah, he does.
We should play that song.
All right, but I don't understand if you're gonna forward a definition and then I meet the criteria for your definition,
No,
you
you
have to concede.
No, but you didn't, because my definition was that it can only work in one direction, that racism works to affect minorities and, subgroups in society, people of color. So by my definition, me saying that it can only work in one direction means that you did not meet that criteria.